Hey Dream Team, my name is Zach, and I'm so honored and excited to bring you the development guide for this month. Before we start, I just want to reiterate the heart and purpose behind the development guide. As a member of the Dream Team, we love you and we value you, not for what you can do, but for who you are, a child of Almighty God. Our goal is to equip you first and foremost in your personal walk with Jesus, as well as your life with family, friends, coworkers, and others within your sphere of influence. We also want to equip you for success in whatever area you serve, because we know the lives you impact for the gospel as a member of our Dream Team is significant. You matter to us. It's a great segue into our lesson. But let me tell you a quick story that sets the tone for today's teaching. I started attending Victory in March of 2019. It was a very difficult time in my life. I was going through an unwanted divorce. I had just left a church where I had served for 8 years and where I had known everyone. I was now coming to a place where I knew no one and felt as if I was having to start life all over. I walked into church that first Sunday. I sat towards the front right side and waited for service to start, not knowing what to expect. As I'm sitting there, a husband and wife came up and asked if they could slide past me into the row. They introduced themselves and we got to talking. They could tell I was new and hadn't seen me before, and I came to find out later that this is where they normally sat. But they never asked me to move. They never said, "Hey, you're in my seat." They welcomed me with open arms. They wanted to know my story. They grieved with me. They encouraged me. I can even remember struggling to get the communion elements open and the husband handing me his. They served me with excellence. They added value to my life. They were saying with their actions, "You matter to God, and you matter to us." They invited me to sit with them every week after that. They could have easily chose to sit somewhere else. They could have easily said just a quick hello and not say another word. But they chose instead to make it count. They were the first people I really interacted with that Sunday. They had no idea if I had spoken to anyone else or what I was thinking being there. They hadn't known if I had ever been to church or if I really knew God. But they knew that this may be the only interaction I have that day, the only impression of Jesus I may ever get. You see, the values of this church are how we behave and how we live. One of the values that we have here at Victory Family Church is make it count, a value that was lived and breathed by that family I just told you about. We consider every interaction with every individual a once-in-a-lifetime privilege. We seek to see everyone as God sees them and infuse our time together with kindness, hospitality, and excellence. One of the major parts of that value is excellence. And that's what we're going to spend most of our time talking about today. A key verse I want to hit on is this. In 1 Corinthians 10:31, it says, "Whether you eat or drink, whatever you do, do all for the glory of God." Ask yourself this question. Do we really want to do anything for God that isn't our best? You may have heard the phrase, "Anything worth doing is worth doing right." Because make no mistake, first impressions matter. We need to make every interaction and every opportunity count and done with excellence. Now notice I didn't say perfection. There's only one who's ever been perfect, and his name is Jesus. Excellence and perfection are two different things. I've heard Pastor John say it this way. Excellence is what you do for others. Perfection is what you do for yourself. Now this is important. Lean in. I want you to get this. Excellence is simply doing the best you can where you are with what you have to positively impact someone else. I have 3 points for you today that I think best sums up why we place such a high value on excellence in treating every encounter as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. My first point for you today is this. Excellence is intentional. In Ecclesiastes 9:10, it says, "Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might." You see, excellence doesn't happen by accident. We must intentionally pursue excellence in every opportunity that is in front of us. It may be the only chance you get to impact someone else's future. Remember that couple who befriended me? They didn't passively let the situation unfold. They were intentional about welcoming me, about hearing my story, about knowing that I had a place to sit with them every weekend. Let me put it another way. A man doesn't wake up one day and automatically love his wife more than he did the day before. He has to make a choice to be intentional and love her with excellence, both with his words and his actions, to show his wife how much he cares for her. There's one more factor to being intentional, and it's called individualization. That same man isn't going to treat his wife the same way he would a coworker or a friend. He treats her as an individual who takes high priority. I don't know about you, but I love country music. And something I hear so often in country songs is a man treating a girl like she's the only one in the room. When we choose to see every interaction with someone as if they are the only one we are there to meet with, we are intentional about making them a priority. They feel seen and they feel valued, which leads me to my second point, that excellence conveys worth. How well something is done says a lot about how much value is placed on the people it is being done for. Let me help give you a fact regarding the church that further illustrates the cruciality of this point. According to the website churchleaders.com, it only takes 10 minutes for most first-time guests to decide if they will return the next week. Think about that. For some, that means before they ever walk into the auditorium, before they ever hear a single note of worship, before they ever hear one word of the message, they already know if they will be back or not. What was the parking like? Did they feel welcomed and given a clear sense of direction by the person directing the traffic? Or did they feel completely lost in a sea of cars? Did the person at the door welcome them to church with enthusiasm? Or were they too busy talking with other team members? Was the church clean, and when they walked in as if Jesus himself was making an appearance? Or were things dirty and in disarray? All these things can either say, you matter, or you don't matter. Most people tend to think that it's only platform positions or visible roles that need to be excellent. But can I tell you, every position matters to God because God sees everything that is done for his glory. Whether you're playing an instrument or you're cleaning up vomit in one of the children's rooms, it all matters to God. You show people they have worth when you serve them with excellence. And lastly, my third point is this. Excellence is an attitude. Colossians 3:23 in the New English Translation says this, whatever you are doing, work at it with enthusiasm. I love that. Rarely is anything done with excellence while having a poor attitude. Remember, we don't have to do these things. We get to do them by partnering with God. A great example of this is Chick-fil-A. Not too long ago, I saw an article on Chick-fil-A's website that talked about operational excellence. And while we may not be working in fast food, I want to read to you just a paragraph because it relates so much to what we're discussing today. It says this, operational excellence means functioning as a restaurant in a way that reflects the best of what we can be, that the performance of each shift meets the potential of team members working it. We don't want to just get through the shift or get by in our position. We want to commit ourselves to what really matters. When we care about doing things right, it shows in how clean we are, how hospitable we are, how fast and accurate we are, and how fresh, hot, and delicious our food can be. Can I get an amen, somebody? But the opposite is true as well. When we have a get by or that's good enough attitude, our restaurants become dirty, smiles disappear from faces, our welcomed guests just become annoying customers. Food goes out that's lukewarm or unpleasing to the eye. And bags are stuffed or crumpled and then hurriedly passed off to a guest that's been waiting forever in a crowded lobby. Operational excellence starts with your personal attitude and approach to each shift. Wow. Chick-fil-A places a high importance on serving its customers. How much more important that we as a church prioritize serving people. I want to challenge you today with having that mindset in whatever your circumstance you may find yourself in. Maybe for you, it's at your workplace. Are you showing up late and just getting through the day? Approach each day like you are on a mission, ready to conquer whatever is thrown at you. Look for ways to improve the job you are doing and ways to help the company succeed. Offer to help coworkers who are behind, or take some things off your boss's plate. Treat every interaction as an opportunity to demonstrate the goodness of God. Maybe for you, it's at home. Choose to serve your spouse with intentionality. Make every date night count. If you're young and still living with your parents, honor them and look for ways to serve them by helping around the house, like washing dishes or cleaning your room or taking care of your siblings. And lastly, on your serve team, show up with the expectation that you will alter someone's eternity by showing the excellency of Jesus. Be prepared for unexpected situations so that you're ready to tackle any problem with ease. Whether you're serving on a worship team or a traffic team, in children's ministry or as a greeter, whatever your role, choose to do it with excellence. As we close today, let us remember the impact each of us can have when we make every opportunity count and it's done with in pursuit of excellence. Excellence matters because people matter. I once heard Pastor John say this: be the story someone tells 20, 30, or even 40 years from now. I know my first Sunday here at Victory is one I will always remember. I came in alone, broken, and trying to pick up the pieces, but I left feeling seen, feeling whole, and feeling loved. The excellence that family showed me changed the trajectory of my life. I now am a resident here at the church and have the privilege of overseeing our Meadville worship team and serve in other multiple areas of our church with the most amazing people. There is a call to ministry on my life that I am now able to pursue with the desire to impact people for the gospel. Every weekend, there's another me who could be sitting in your proverbial seat. What a great opportunity we have to be God's unconditional love by showing excellence in every area of our lives. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this teaching today. I hope it has had a profound impact on you as you go about the days and weeks to come. I love you all, and God bless.